Hello, listeners. My name is Ian Outkirk, and I'm a training facilitator in management as well as customer care. In this lesson, we will be looking at the preliminaries of a strategic plan in strategic and performance management. Before you start thinking of making a strategic plan, you have to ensure that you are starting in a secure and solid organization. You need to ask the questions: are there competent managers? Is the organization head excited about moving ahead? Are divisional managers excited about being involved in change and the new horizon? Is everyone results oriented? If only part of these are present, a strategic plan would not be properly formulated and probably not be implemented. The basics must be in place for an organization to move seamlessly from a strategic plan through the embodiment of a performance plan. It is the duty of the organization head to inject some dynamism into employees who will be involved in the creation of a strategic plan in order that they start looking at new horizons. Change will have to be underlined for those managers who are slow in getting off the line. The words of Elbert Hubbard will be remembered here. He stated that, open quote, man cannot discover new oceans unless he has the courage to lose sight of the shore, end quote. In other words, you have to make a conscious effort of embracing change and having a desire to explore new areas and opportunities to achieve greater things. Therefore, one has to determine whether the company is achieving a certain level of accomplishment through following the basic principles of management. These principles look at planning, organizing, directing, and controlling, which in turn covers goal setting, allocation, delegation, communication, and motivation. All of these areas have to be functioning at high levels of the scale. If this is not so, a certain amount of change management will have to be introduced to lay the groundwork for a higher level of operations to be put in place to push the plan forward. This is necessary to shift operation momentum to a higher gear. Once thought has been given to the formulation of a strategic plan by the CEO or managing director of a company, a board of directors would set out a broad plan as a guide to the attainment of a plan. Normally, this broad framework would just set out whether the company should diversify, contract, expand, create new marketing areas, or increase its product line or services. These decisions could affect one or more areas of a company's operations. After deliberations by the board on which direction to go, the organization head would now assemble a team comprising of his top managers and have preliminary discussions with the team on the way forward, taking into account the new area or areas that would be pursued for the growth of the business and the company. These areas would now have to be examined to determine whether enough infrastructure, manpower, equipment, and materials are in place to arrive at the achievement goal of the strategic plan. At this point, things would start to become intense. This intensity must be carried on until the end of the implementation of the completed plan. More on this later when we look at performance management. A decision will be made on who will be the managers to be involved in the plan, if there will be any subcommittees, and how often there will be meetings for discussions on the creation of the plan. Irrespective of the key departments that would be involved in the making of a strategic plan, there are some service sections that would make a contribution to the process. These are 1. Finance. Sound and effective financial management is fundamental to boosting performance and improving services, as well as achieving your organization's objectives. It is also a key management discipline which is central to the decision-making process, providing evidence-based decision-making through budgeting and performance indicators. 2. Human resources. Through proper recruitment, retention and development of staff, the creation, development, and implementation of strategies would lend great assistance to the formulation of a strategic plan. 3. Information technology. From simple compilation of data to the crunching of numbers, the Information Technology Department makes a big contribution to the detailing of a strategic plan. Thus, contribution is aided by the following: automation, information retrieval, information dissemination, and collaboration. This brings an end to my first podcast on strategic management. In my next podcast on strategic and performance management, I would be looking at the actual plan. Thanks for listening.